Hey, welcome back to my day 34 of my Porch Bible Reading. Today, on day 34, we're going to do Exodus 38 and 39. Exodus chapters 38 and 39. So, a couple things real quick. Number one, thank y'all for joining me. Number two, it is 9:25 at night here in October. Currently 56 degrees. So I don't know how much longer I'll be on my front porch. I will stay out here as long as I can in a short sleeve shirt. May wear a coat, but eventually I might have to go to my back porch, my sunroom porch. So it's not real big, but hey, I'm gonna have to go there. But hey, let's get started with chapter 38 and 39. So thanks for joining me. Here we go. And he made the altar of burnt offering of ship wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was 4 square, and 3 cubits the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were the same, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all the vessels of the altar, the pots, and the shovel, and the basins, and the flesh hooks, and the fire pans, and all the vessels thereof he made of brass. And he made for the altar a brazen grate of network under the compass thereof, beneath unto the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grate of brass, to be places for the staves. And he made the staves of shipwood, overlaid them with brass. And he put the staves into the rings of the sides of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. And he made the laver of brass, and the foot of it of brass. And the looking glasses of the women assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he made with the court on the south side southward of the hangings of the court were the fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the north side of the hangings were 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits. This thing's cutting off on me again. Oh, let's see here. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And the north side of the hangings were 100 cubits, and the pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the east side eastward, 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the other side of the court gate, alright, changed the battery. It still had 15%, but for some reason it kept restarting on me or shutting off. So we will try this yet again to carry on. Alright, and the hanging for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen, and 20 cubits was the length, and the height of the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the court. And their pillars were 4, and their sockets of brass 4, and their hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapiters, and their fillets of silver. And all the pins and the tabernacle and all the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted, according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of levities, by the hand of Ithamar, son to Aaron the priest. And Bezaleel, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, and the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him was a Holibab, son of Ahismach, the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and in scarlet of fine linen. And all the gold that was occupied for the work in all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,760 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And Becca for a Becca, a bekah for every man, that is half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the veil, and 100 sockets and 100 talents, a talent for a socket. And of the 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their chapiters, and filleted them. Sorry, preoccupied here. Sidetracked, whatever you want to call it. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels, and therewith he made the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grate for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. All right, chapter 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made cloths of service, to do service in the holy place, and made the holy garment for Aaron, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made of the ephod of gold, blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires, to work it into the blue, and into the purple, and into the scarlet, and in the fine linen, with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together. By the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his son's ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, and the purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones enclosed of ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. And the second row, an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold, 2 rings, and put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains were fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod with the lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, that the breastplate might not be loosened from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of the habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not rend. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, and a bell and a pomegranate round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and a mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen, and a girdle of fine twined linen, and a blue and a purple and a scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like to the engravings of the signet, and this is all capitalized, Holiness to the Lord. So that must be what they engraved in it, or wrote upon it in writing. And they tied unto it a lace of blue, and fastened it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent and all his furniture, his taches and his boards, his bars, and his pillars and his sockets, and a covering of ram's skin dyed red, and a covering of badger skin, and the veil of the covering. The ark of the testimony, of the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table and all the vessels thereof, and the shewbread, the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his grate of brass, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, and his pillars, and his sockets, and the hanging for the court gate, his cords, and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, and the cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and his sons' garments, to minister in the priest's office. According to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. So that ends chapter 39. So, looks like we're going to go to chapter 40. I'm glad I'm done reading, because this thing just cut off again while I'm trying to close this out. But hey, looks like I'll finish the last part of Exodus tomorrow. Looking forward to it. It'll be 2 chapters done. Pretty excited about that. Never been this far. So thanks again for hanging out with me on my porch and hanging out with me on this journey. I appreciate your support. And don't forget to leave your comments. And I'll see you tomorrow.